17.4% cost of living adjustment, otherwise known as COLA raise, for Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, and VA beneficiaries. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, some new information was just released in regards to the 2022 and 2023 cost of living adjustment, otherwise known as COLA raise, for millions and millions of fixed income beneficiaries and those individuals I just mentioned a few seconds ago. Well, these reports are going on to show that some changes need to be made and some adjustments also need to be made, and that's what's very important and why I want to share this information with you right here in the video. So let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos to help you out in any way that I possibly can, as well as keeping you informed of what's actually going on, and most importantly, how all this new information is going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and also remember, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that is my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about these new reports coming out right now, talking about the 2022 and 2023 cost of living adjustments and why some big changes need to be made, and also some adjustments going forward, because these raises to benefits are way behind what beneficiaries actually need. And again, remember this much as well. We all need more money right now. I mean, let's just say it how it is, right? We don't need to sit here and beat around the bush on anything. We can just say it how it is as of right now, which is fixed income beneficiaries need a lot more money going forward, because here's the thing. The last couple of years here have been absolutely brutal for the low income and fixed income. Again, if you don't believe me, feel free to go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. We've been talking about all these reports here over the last few years, talking about how the low income and fixed income need raises to benefits, need ongoing checks, need another stimulus check. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And again, we've talked about it so much in other videos and all the piece of information coming out. Well, lately, I want to talk about the details coming out in this report right here, where we're talking about the 2022 and 2023 cost of living adjustments. Now, again, I get it. The 2022 COLA, it's gone. However, well, I shouldn't say it's gone, but I mean, that's like history at this point, right? It's still there, technically. Your benefits are still adjusted because of that, but I mean, that's just kind of old news at this point. But I do want to talk about this report because they're suggesting some changes and again, some adjustments going forward, because there's some major problems with the COLA. Now, again, are we surprised by this? Not really, because we've been talking about this for a very long time. The problem with the COLA is that it's announced in October, it goes into effect the following year, and then again, it's way behind the times. So let me talk you through the details really quickly, and I'll tell you the details first about the 2023 COLA, just because that's like where we are right here and now. And then again, I want to go back and quickly talk about the 2022, because there's some also other adjustments there that they're suggesting, because again, that one fell way behind the curve. All right, so here's what they're suggesting. A 17.4% COLA for 2023. Now, what is this number? Where is this number coming from, and what is this derived from? Here's what it comes down to. As we all know, the COLA for 2023 is 8.7%. However, they're suggesting that this COLA actually needs to be doubled. 17.4% is what that calculates out to. So 8.7 multiplied by 2, doubling it, would bring it up to 17.4%. So in these reports that are suggesting that this COLA for 2023 should be adjusted by doubling, 100% increase to the COLA up to that 17.4%. Why? Because of all the massive inflation that we're dealing with currently, even though it's gone down a little bit, to be fair, it's gone down a little bit here over the last several months, but it is still historically very high to where inflation generally should be, and as a result of that, 2022 was way behind the curve. Now remember this much. I'm going to kind of dip into this information in regards to 2022 for just a second, but we'll kind of go back and forth here, and I want to give you the details about this. But here's what they're saying. In 2022, remember this much, the COLA was 5.9%. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Was inflation ever 5.9% in 2022? I think we'd all know the answer is no. Not even close, right? In fact, inflation was about 3% higher than that, or to be fair, about 2.5%, maybe even 3% higher than that for the vast majority of 2022. So the 5.9%, it was nice at the time, but the deal is, it was way behind the curve. It was way behind, right? So that's, again, the problem that I'm suggesting right now. And what these reports have come out to show is that, again, the COLA is announced in October, mid-October, and then it goes into effect in about 2.5 months later in January of the following year. And then, of course, we get that through the entire year, right? Well, the problem is it's based on old inflation data, just like what we saw in 2021, when inflation was, a little bit, it wasn't too bad. Well, that's what predicated the cost of living adjustment for 2022. Well, announced in October of 2021 was the COLA for 2022, 5.9%, right? Which, by the way, at the time, that was actually a pretty big COLA, even though all of us were thinking, are you kidding me? This isn't going to go anywhere. Well, then sure enough, in 2022, we got hammered with inflation, right? 8.5%, 9.1% for a lot of 2022. And then again, that is what indicated the COLA for 2023, the 8.7%. But again, because of all this, beneficiaries are falling significantly behind, and that is what gave us that 8.7% in 2023, right? Well, again, because of all of this and why based on all this information and how it's all shaking out, they're actually predicting, but just to bring beneficiaries up to where they should be as a result of the huge inflation from 2022 and the high inflation through 2023, the COLA actually needs to be doubled again to that 17.4%. So that's what they're suggesting for 2023. However, now let me tell you some details about 2022 as well, and that COLA. Remember, 5.9%. Again, it wasn't that great, but it was certainly better than the 1.3% we got in 2021. Remember that? That was tiny. And honestly, that was just like straight up pathetic, right? So the 1.3%, that was in 2021. But here's what's happening. The reports are showing that the 5.9% COLA in 2022 should have been 46% higher for beneficiaries, because what they found is that just because of the inflation, benefits were behind by about $500 through the course of 2022, just because the COLA should have been about, like I said, about 46% higher from what it was, which, by the way, a 46% increase on a 5.9% COLA would have been about another 2.8% or so, give or take a little bit. So would have brought it up to about that 8.5% range again. So what they're suggesting with these reports is 2022, the COLA really should have been about 8.6 to 8.7% in 2022. And again, because of the high inflation in 2022, it pretty much just ate up all the COLA plus a whole bunch more. And again, I don't need to tell you that. You already know that stuff, right? This is all history. We know all of this. We lived it. We were all there. We know how this all went, right? And again, the problem with this as well is that the COLA, it's great, it's nice, but then again, for those of you that receive SNAP benefits, guess what happens? Oh, you already know, right? Your benefits are reduced as a result of that, and therefore, net, at the end of the day, you get a raise on your fixed income benefit, and then they take away a huge percentage of it as a result of the Medicare Part B premium, and of course, SNAP benefits and things like that, and then before you know it, you're right back at zero, right? Doesn't make any sense, right? So, that's what they're suggesting. So for 2022, the COLA really should have been more around the range of the 8.6 to 8.7% range, and they're suggesting for 2023, the COLA really should be, again, adjusting for inflation in 2022 and a high inflation in 2023, it really should be doubled up to that 17.4%. Massive. Now remember, what would this actually do to beneficiaries, and what will this do to your benefits? Well, it'd actually make a huge difference. I know that we would need a significant raise above and beyond this, but at the end of the day, this would actually make a huge difference to benefits, because then remember, going forward every year after this, the raise on as a result of the COLA would also be adjusted because of your higher benefit, right? So dealing with percentages, calculating a percentage raise on top of that would actually be higher because we're calculating from a higher base number, right? So I've kind of ran through those calculations in previous videos, but Again, all in all, it would result in much higher benefits for many beneficiaries going forward. And again, it would all help. Every single dollar helps these days, and we've talked about that so many times before. So, again, the good old COLA that we all love so much, it's good, but at the end of the day, it's significantly behind. It's lagging behind in a significant way. And as a result of that, millions of beneficiaries are continuously falling behind. Again, I don't need to tell you that. We lived 2022, right? We know how 2022 went. It was tough for a lot of people, and it's going to remain tough, unfortunately, for a lot of people going forward because, yet again, benefits are far behind, benefits are not enough, and inflation is still way too high these days. And prices are coming down on things that many of us don't buy, like airline tickets and used cars and, gasoline. Yes, that's good too. But at the end of the day, we're not buying a ton of gasoline on a monthly basis, maybe a couple fill-ups a month, and that's probably about it. But other than that, prices are still rising, and prices are still very, very elevated on the things that fixed income beneficiaries spend the majority of their money on, which is food, shelter, and healthcare. Prices on these items are still going up and still very elevated. So anyway, these are a couple more reports I wanted to share with you here in this video. Sure would be nice if they did something like this, even just a simple adjustment to the COLA. I know it's not a $200 raise. I know it's not a stimulus check, but at the end of the day, it would certainly help a lot. It would help in a pretty big way. It's certainly better than nothing, and it's certainly better than what's going on right now. Anyway, I'll keep you posted as I do get more details on any new reports like this or anything, announcements out of Congress, the administration, lawmakers, the Social Security Administration, anything else like this. Of course, I'll bring it to your attention right away. So again, I want to share these reports with you to let you know what's actually going on and what these experts are now suggesting that should be done immediately. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.